is, obviously, if you're paying attention to LeBron on social media, you're seeing all this Cleveland nostalgia. He's with the Cavs overseas with his old teammates. Then he's been in Akron for the last few days doing events. I will just say he goes to Akron and does events with his foundation every summer.
True, but he was hanging out with his high school teammates.
I know, but he sees those guys routinely.
I understand.
But you're right. Like if
but
you
he posted
wanted
it on social. It was posted on social media. Hanging out with Brandon Weems.
Yes.
His high school teammate, a close friend who just happens to, and by the way, earned his way to being an executive for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Let me just say something about Brandon Weems as a quick aside here, because there's going to be, his name, people may not know that much. By the way, just everybody calls him Weems. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody call him Brandon. I mean, maybe his teachers would call him Brandon. Everyone calls him Weems, just like the guy who left Cleveland to go to the Sixers and made this trade for Jaylen Brown, Mike Gansey. Nobody called him Mike. Everybody, maybe his wife does. Everybody calls him Gansey. Okay, but anyway, Weems, he was LeBron's high school teammate. Yes. But he went on he coached at Oakland University, and then he was a coach at Kentucky for a while. And then I say a coach, he was like director of basketball operations, down the line, I don't know if he did the laundry, but it wouldn't surprise. Probably not at Kentucky, he didn't do the laundry, but whatever. And came to the Cavs and was scouting the Mid-American Conference and the Horizon League and stuff like that. And has really been in the Cavs front office for a decade plus, slowly moving up. And was in Cleveland before LeBron got there, was there while LeBron was there. He left. He didn't go with them to the Lakers or anything like that. He stayed in Cleveland and kept. What's that?
Before LeBron got back.
He was in Cleveland before LeBron got back. Right. And he was there after he left. And he's still there.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like he got hired when LeBron came to Cleveland. This guy never got, anyway. He's probably going to get promoted to GM or something of those into Gansey's into footsteps, but whatever. Yes, he was at an event with LeBron over the weekend, but he has attended events of LeBron's routinely for decades. When LeBron wasn't a free agent, is all I'm saying. But yes, you can create a case, and it is true. I don't know if you've heard Bobby or you've heard McMahon, but and we're in the holiday weekend, so there hasn't been a lot that has happened in the league in the last 36 hours. It's kind of been a little bit it's a little blissful to break. But the last I heard, the teams had not heard anything. The teams were interested in LeBron, they had made contact and whatever, and they hadn't heard anything. And they're like, well, we don't know what to make of it. And this is what happened with the previous LeBron free agencies when he switched teams. They didn't know. LeBron called in and was basically yep, I'm coming. And they're like, oh, okay. It wasn't maybe they felt good. They said, oh, I think the vibe is good. But the Heat didn't know he was coming. The Cavs didn't know he was coming back. You want to know how I know they didn't know? Because they were about 10 minutes away from offering Gordon Hayward a max contract offer sheet. He was in the building in Cleveland. And when Mark Termini, one of LeBron's agents, found out that Gordon Hayward was in Cleveland, he called them up and he was like, what are you doing? Why are you spending your cap space? And they were like, oh, and then Gordon was like, what? I'm not getting an offer sheet today? You think they would have hired David Blatt? No offense to David Blatt, if they knew they were getting LeBron. Magic Johnson showed up at LeBron's house at 6 p.m. or whenever, 9 p.m., whenever he was allowed to, to pitch it. They didn't know they were getting him. So these teams are kind of last I heard, Bobby, the teams are kind of in the dark, all kind of waiting, and they weren't hearing anything. And so they were just well, maybe it's Cleveland. but I don't know if anybody is hearing anything.
Well, and that goes back to your point, and it's not like they're all sitting up with a $40 million slot, right? Like really the only,
and they don't have to.
Yeah, they don't have to. I mean, really the only thing that, Harden remains unsigned, and and that will be done as far as whatever the number will be with him, and Draymond in Golden State, and Peyton Watson. We'll probably talk about him in a minute in Denver. There's not much heavy lifting that some of these teams. Philly's basically done with their roster for the most part. Miami's got some openings they've got to figure out. But it's not like, I remember in was it 15, Brian, when he went back to Cleveland?
Yeah,
like
14
in the summer of 14. Like I didn't know, but I had an idea that he was going back because we did a trade with the Cavs where we took Jarrett Jack and Sergei Karasev because they needed to clear the money out to get them. So you're thinking do we do it just to do it? And even though LeBron is going there, or do we need a backup point guard? Who cares? And we wind up doing it, and the money they wind up clearing out enough. I think they traded Tyler Zeller also to the Celtics as far as that deal, and they wind up clearing out the money here. But in this case, totally different ball game.
I'm out here in Salt Lake City Summer League, and obviously there's a lot of scouts and executives and whatever, and I can't tell you how many times I either heard or asked, where do you think he's going? It's one of the first things that comes up in conversations. And the majority opinion is he'll head back to Cleveland. But
no one is operating with knowledge. This
exactly.
is the thing.
I was going to say, everybody is guessing.
I wish I could tell you my sources are saying X, but the sources I talk to aren't speaking with knowledge, and the people who have knowledge are not speaking. So, look, I'm not saying that Shams doesn't have a good idea. I'm just saying I don't. I wish I could tell you for sure. I don't.
Well, and look, there's the three teams that were kind of the initial front runners, and I'll just say in the order I think: Cleveland, Golden State, Miami. Again, it's guesswork, but whatever. I know Denver is optimistic. Minnesota is optimistic. Philadelphia is optimistic. I mean, there's these teams that think they have a case and think they have some hope.
I wouldn't say optimistic. I would say hopeful.
Okay, hopeful. Right. Optimistic. They don't think, they're not confident, oh, he's coming here. But they're like, hey, we've got a chance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I will say that in the past, so in the last week or two, there's been a lot of people who we all know who've been hanging out with LeBron. We've asked all of them. Trust me, we've asked all of them. They don't know. Now, here's what I think from Rich Paul and Max Kellerman's podcast the other day. Rich said that 27 teams had checked in with LeBron, reached out, whatever, expressed an interest in signing him. I wish I could tell you I knew the three teams that did not.